Listen to me. I'm only going to say this once. Stop being stupid. Yeah, I said it. It's time for some real talk. Too many people out here making excuses, blaming the world, wasting time, and repeating the same mistakes. And for what? To stay comfortable? To avoid responsibility? No more. Enough is enough. Common sense should be the easiest thing in the world to have, right? But look around. It's rare. People make choices every day that defy logic, ignore reality, and lead straight to failure. They touch fire and act surprised when they get burned. They see warning signs and keep walking straight into disaster. And then they have the nerve to act like the world is against them. No, the world isn't against you. You just keep ignoring what's obvious. You don't need a PhD to understand basic principles of life. If you don't work, you don't eat. If you don't practice, you don't get better. If you surround yourself with the wrong people, you become like them. If you don't manage your money, you go broke. This isn't rocket science. But time and time again, people pretend like they don't know why their life is in shambles. They want to blame bad luck, the system, other people, anything except their own bad decision. That's the real issue. It's not that people don't know better. It's that they refuse to act on what they know. Then you've got the people who think common sense doesn't apply to them. They think they can beat the odds, cut corners, break the rules, and somehow get a different result than everybody else who tried and failed before them. You can't cheat life. You can't fake discipline. You can't ignore wisdom and expect to stay on top. Maybe for a while you can get by on luck. Maybe you can slide through on talent, but eventually reality catches up. And when it does, you're going to wish you had done things the right way from the start. What makes this worse is that common sense isn't even about intelligence. Some of the smartest people in the world make the dumbest mistakes because they overthink simple things. They analyze, debate, hesitate, and talk themselves out of doing the very thing they know they should be doing. Meanwhile, someone with half their intelligence but twice their discipline is out there winning. Why? Because they didn't need to be a genius to recognize what needed to be done. They just did it. But here's the real truth. Common sense is a choice. You either listen to it or you don't. You either apply what you know or you suffer the consequences. It's not about what life hands you. It's about what you do with what you already know. The answers are right in front of you. The question is, are you willing to use them? Everybody's got an excuse. Everybody's got a story. But let me tell you something. Your excuses don't impress me. They don't impress life. They don't impress success. And they sure won't change your situation. You can list 100 reasons why you're not where you want to be. But at the end of the day, none of that matters if you're not doing something about it. Excuses don't pay bills. Excuses don't build careers. Excuses don't make you stronger, smarter, or better. All they do is keep you stuck. You ever notice how the people who make the most excuses are usually the ones making the least progress? They say they want to win, but they don't want to put in the work. They say they want success, but they don't want to sacrifice for it. They blame their upbringing, their circumstances, their past, other people. Everything except the person in the mirror. Life isn't fair. We all know that. Some people start with more, some start with less. But at some point, you've got to ask yourself, are you going to let that define you, or are you going to fight for what you want? Hard truth, nobody cares about your excuses. The world doesn't slow down because you're struggling. The clock keeps ticking, opportunities keep moving, and while you're sitting there explaining why you can't, somebody else is out there proving that they can. That's the difference. It's not about talent, luck, or having the perfect situation. It's about mindset. It's about being the kind of person who says, yeah, life hit me hard, but I'm still here and I'm still pushing. That's the attitude that separates winners from losers. The funny thing is, most people don't even believe their own excuses. Deep down, they know they could be doing more. They know they could be trying harder, making better choices, being more disciplined, but it's easier to justify failure than it is to fight for success. It's easier to say, I can't, than to admit, I won't. But here's the reality. As long as you're making excuses, you're giving yourself permission to stay exactly where you are. You're telling yourself that it's okay to settle, and once you get comfortable making excuses, it becomes a habit, a dangerous one. You've got to break that cycle. Stop explaining why you can and start figuring out how you can. Stop looking for sympathy and start looking for solutions. Life will never give you a perfect set of circumstances. It will always be hard. It will always test you. But the ones who make it, the ones who win, are the ones who refuse to be held back by anything. Not fear, not doubt, not struggle. No more excuses. It's time to step up and take control. Life is a game, but too many people are out here playing the wrong one. They think they can take shortcuts, make reckless choices, and somehow come out on top. But life doesn't work that way. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Every action has a consequence, and if you keep making dumb decisions, you're going to end up with results you don't like. That's not bad luck. That's cause and effect. You see it all the time. People surround themselves with the wrong crowd, then act surprised when their life falls apart. They ignore the warning signs in a situation, then get shocked when it blows up in their face. They chase quick money, easy success, or the fast life, then cry when it all comes crashing down. The truth is, they knew better, maybe not at first, but somewhere along the way, they had a moment where they could have stopped and made a smarter choice, but they didn't. And now they're paying for it. That's how life works. The problem is, too many people think they're the exception. They think they can gamble with their future and somehow beat the odds. They believe they can cheat, cut corners, and make reckless moves without it catching up to them. And maybe for a while they get away with it, but reality is patient. It lets you think you're winning, lets you believe you've outsmarted the system until one day everything falls apart. And when it does, there's no rewinding the tape. There's no, I didn't mean to. There's just the consequences of the game you chose to play. Now, this doesn't just apply to big mistakes. It's in the little things too. You slack off at work, then wonder why you never get promoted. You spend every dollar you make, then complain that you're always broke. You ignore your health, then get upset when your body starts breaking down. These are all choices, and every choice has a result. Nobody is punishing you. Life isn't out to get you. You're just getting exactly what you signed up for. The good news, you can change the game. You can start making smarter choices today. You don't have to keep repeating the same mistakes, trusting the wrong people, or taking dumb risks. You can learn from your losses and move differently. Because at the end of the day, it all comes down to this. If you want better prizes, play a better game. Talent is often overrated. People love to believe that those who succeed are simply born with a gift, that some people are just destined for greatness. And while talent can give you a head start, it's discipline that truly gets you to the finish line. Talent may win you a few battles, but it's discipline that wins wars. Without discipline, talent is wasted. You can be born with all the natural ability in the world, but if you don't have the consistency, the work ethic, and the will to push through the challenges, you'll never reach your full potential. Talent can only take you so far. Look at all the talented people who never make it because they didn't put in the work. They're the ones who think that their skills will carry them to success without any effort. But in reality, the most successful people aren't the ones who are the most talented. They're the ones who are the most disciplined. They're the ones who get up every single day and show up even when they don't feel like it. They put in the time. They work harder, smarter, and longer than the person who relies on their talent alone. There's a saying, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. It's as simple as that. You could be born with the ability to run faster than everyone else, but if you don't train, practice, and push yourself harder than anyone else, eventually someone will come along who works harder and beat you. Talent without discipline is like a fire without fuel. It might burn bright for a moment, but it won't last. On the flip side, discipline is what separates those who make it from those who don't. Discipline is what makes you show up when nobody's watching. It's what makes you put in the hours, even when you're exhausted, even when you don't feel like it. It's what keeps you pushing through the setbacks and failures because you know that consistency will pay off in the long run. Discipline is the backbone of success, the glue that holds everything together when everything else seems to be falling apart. And the beauty of discipline is that it's something you can control. Talent, that's a lottery. You either have it or you don't. But discipline, that's a choice. You can choose to work harder than anyone else, to learn more, to practice longer. You can choose to be consistent even when it's tough. No one can take that away from you. It's easy to admire talent. It's easy to look at someone who's naturally good at something and think, I'll never be that good. But the truth is, you don't need to be the best. You just need to outwork everyone else. Talent might give you a head start, but discipline will keep you in the race until the end. It's the key to growth, improvement, and success. Talent might turn heads, but discipline will get you across the finish line. Waiting for permission is one of the biggest mistakes you can make in life. Too many people sit around waiting for the right moment, waiting for someone to tell them it's okay to go after what they want, waiting for someone to give them approval before they take action. The problem with waiting for permission is that it doesn't come. You could sit there your whole life waiting for the green light, and the world will pass you by. No one is coming to hand you your dreams on a silver platter. It's up to you to go out and take them. The truth is, if you keep waiting for permission, you'll never move forward. You'll stay stuck in a cycle of hesitation, second guessing, and missed opportunities. The people who make things happen, who carve their own path and achieve their goals, are the ones who don't wait for anyone's approval. They decide to move regardless of the fear, the doubt, or the uncertainty. They trust their own instincts, make the decision to take action, and deal with the consequences later. They understand that success isn't about asking for permission. It's about taking responsibility and making things happen. If you're waiting for someone to validate your decisions, you're giving away your power. You're telling yourself that your ideas, your dreams, and your abilities aren't enough on their own. You're handing control over to someone else, waiting for them to tell you that you're worthy of pursuing your goals. But that's not how success works. The people who achieve greatness are the ones who believe in themselves first. And they don't wait for someone else to give them permission to be great. They take ownership of their lives and they create the opportunities they want. We live in a world that's full of distractions, doubts, and outside opinions. People will always have something to say about what you're doing. There will always be someone who tells you it's not the right time, someone who questions your choices, someone who tells you you're not qualified, not ready, or not capable. But if you listen to those voices, you'll never get anywhere. If you're waiting for permission from others, you're letting them control your future. You don't need anyone's approval to pursue your goals, to take risks, or to step outside of your comfort zone. If you have a vision, go after it. If you have a dream, chase it. The only permission you need is your own. Stop waiting for someone to tell you that you're good enough, smart enough, or capable enough. You are. You've always been. The only thing holding you back is your willingness to take action. The time for waiting is over. There's no perfect moment to start, no ideal time when everything will align perfectly. Life will never hand you the perfect set of circumstances. The longer you wait, the further you get from your goals. The longer you sit around waiting for permission, the more time you lose. So stop waiting. The moment is now. Take action, trust yourself, and go after what you want. The only permission you need is the courage to take the first step.